Hey, everybody, welcome on back. This is the You Gotta Try This podcast with me, Large, and behind the ones and twos, as always, is my man, Ian. We have a couple of guests a little later on today. It's going to be the Cream Team. Keep calling them the Cream Boys. Please do not Google Cream Boys because you'll get something totally different. But the Cream Team here in Barstool are two young gentlemen who work at a Chicago office who were tasked by Dan, Big Cat Cats, to get an ice cream machine and have it up and running for everybody in the office. And he picked the two right guys. I know one of the gentlemen, Jacob. He's a guy that helps out on Rubbin' His Racing. He's one of the producers in Rubbin' His Racing, or the producer, I should say. Give that man his flowers. The other gentleman I don't know at all. So it's going to be it's an interesting conversation that I'm going to have. And I will tell you, I hope that you're going to fall in love with these guys as much as I did. Very, very innocent type kids, and they're just there making ice cream for the boss. It's kind of cool. And I had the ice cream from the first day that they put them up until this week, and they're getting better at it. They're like mad scientists. So that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. As always, we ask you guys to leave 5-star reviews wherever you listen to or watch this podcast. And we also love to answer questions. So you can put your questions in the 5-star review. You can put your questions wherever platform you watch or listen to this. So, Ian, we have a question this week this one I handpicked. I'm going to have you read it, but a guy had sent me this actually in a DM on Instagram. So I had said to Ian, it's one of the ones that I want to tackle. So I normally don't know these questions beforehand. I think that's kind of better, but this one I do. So go ahead, E.
From Mike Miggins on Instagram. A question for You Gotta Try This. I'm the son of Irish migrants, dual citizen for a flex, and I've had the pleasure to travel to Ireland a few times.
Stop. Son of Irish immigrants, dual citizen, pleasure to travel to Ireland a few times. I'm the son of Irish immigrants. I have dual citizenship, and I've been to Ireland a handful of times too. So me and Mike Miggins right here are simpatico. We're brothers, as it was. Go ahead.
Why are the fries so god-awful in Ireland?
Yeah.
They are all the same size and shape too. Is there some French fry robber baron that controls the fry supply to the entire country? Why are all the fries large, soggy, thick steak fries? Absolutely zero variety for a country known for the potato. It's a disgrace. I think that's why we, the Irish, are slipping in the potato consumption ranking. Up your fry game, Ireland, sláinte.
By the way, Ian nailing sláinte. I was going to sit here and I was waiting for you to say slaint or something like that. So I'm very, very proud of you. I love this question, and it's a question that's bothered me. And he's talking about they're slipping in the potato consumption ranking. I follow this guy. I think his name is Gavin Noon. He says, follow me, I'm delicious. And he's an Irish dude. And he just put up on social media somewhere how Ireland has fallen behind a bunch of other countries as far as potatoes consumed per capita or something like that. And particularly, I was talking about spice bags and all these different things that they eat over in Europe that contain that same fry, that same French fry from a chipper or from a brick and mortar place, a chipper van, like your chippy van, or a brick and mortar place. And he's right. They're all thick cut, steak cut fries, and they don't have that crispiness that we have here in the United States just about everywhere. And I don't know how to get to the bottom of this. I just want to talk about it. So we're like this McDonald's French fry is our Rosetta Stone over here for probably 75% of the population. If you were to ask anybody over here on this side of the pond, what's the best French fry you can get casually right away? McDonald's. You want to cure a migraine? Get yourself a large soda and a large fry from McDonald's. That's what's going to heal what ails you. So that's the one for us. McDonald's fries in the United States have 19 ingredients. They have potatoes, a blend of seed oils, natural beef flavor containing wheat and milk derivatives, dextrose, sodium acid, pyrophosphate, salt, several other additives like citric acid and dimethyl polysiloxane. There's 19 ingredients in those McDonald's fries that we love so much here. In Ireland, there's 3. It's potatoes, salt, and oil. And that's it. And there are some places in Ireland that are still frying their fries in like traditional coal-fired fryers. So we're not dealing with the same amount of technology being given to the French fry industry. And they're not pumping their fries with those 19 ingredients that we get here. That's probably going to make us grow gills any second now. McDonald's over in London and in Ireland, in England and in Ireland, they only contain 4 ingredients in their fries because the rest of that shit doesn't fly over there. So they have potatoes, non-hydrogenated oil, dextrose, and salt. 4 ingredients in McDonald's fries over there. I've never been to a McDonald's sober in Ireland or England. I've been drunk a couple of times, so I really can't comment on what those fries are like compared to McDonald's, but I'm sure comparatively they suck as well. So I don't dislike a good fry right out of the oil from an Irish fish and chips place, but he's right. In general, they're limp and soggy, and people don't seem to fucking care. I don't know what it is. It's a conundrum to me. I'm going to do a Sunday roast this weekend. Annie and I are going to go to this place. We'll talk about it next week with like roasted potatoes that they're going to do, you know, with a traditional roast, some root vegetables and the popovers and whatnot. And it's going to be fantastic. So I've had crispy potatoes all around Ireland, but for some reason they don't put a premium on making their fries extra crispy the way we here are. We've become accustomed to it. And it's just a cultural difference. They're healthier, if that is the short answer for Mike, but also, in my opinion, they're not as good. So Irish people will probably live forever eating those things, but they should have a little bit of regret because those 19 ingredients in McDonald's fries make them fucking absolutely perfect. And speaking of perfect things, this podcast is brought to you by good friends over at Pepsi. We just talked about a perfect French fry. A perfect French fry, hot out of the fryer, salty. Look, my salivary glands are starting to go. Nothing pairs better with something like that than a beautiful Pepsi, right? I have the Pepsi no sugar right now is what I'm doing because I'm trying to watch my weight. And I can tell you, food, good fries, good everything deserves Pepsi. It enhances the flavor of food as far as I'm concerned. And I urge you guys just to give it a try and see whether or not what I'm saying is true. I think that when I sit down to a big meal, it somehow cuts through the fat a little bit better. The sweetness highlights other flavors in the food that I'm eating. It just makes for an overall better experience when I have a Pepsi next to a good meal. So Pepsi makes my flavors pop. Pepsi enhances my food. Pepsi is something that makes my food taste better. So food deserves Pepsi. Give it a try today, and I appreciate your continued support. Oh, that was seamless, by the way. Pretty proud of myself there. How's everybody doing? Ian, are you excited about the Cream Team coming on?
Oh, yeah.
They're good kids, right? I mean, Jacob, you've dealt with a couple of times because he's helped us out when I've had to film stuff on this side over here in New York. So Jacob is one of those guys that's always helped us out. But this other gentleman, and again, I'm not giving up anything on this guy. I'm not. I'm going to treat him as a enigma wrapped in a riddle. After the interview, Ian had then sent me some recon because you were traveling with Rowan at the time. I think you were doing a tour of Harlem. So I last minute grabbed these 2 kids. Ian had sent me a bunch of stuff on one of them in particular. So I've just scratched the surface with the Cream Team. And so much so that I do plan on having them back on at some point just so I can get a little bit deeper in the weeds with them. You know? All right, let's talk about some food. I will tell you a couple of things that I learned this week. I'm a big Cheez-It guy. I love Cheez-Its. And sometimes Cheez-Its, even though they're a big company, what Nabisco maybe makes them, I don't even know. Cheez-Its are delicious. If you enjoy the cheesiness of a Cheez-It, this is what fat guys know. This is what foodies know. Look at the serial number. Do you know this trick? There is a Cheez-Its facility, manufacturing plant in Kansas that makes them better than any other Cheez-It. Every facility has small little nuances that makes it better or worse. Honest to God, I've done exhaustive research. The one in Kansas is the best. So when you buy your next box of Cheez-Its, not one of the people that sponsors us at all. So I'm not saying that. Cheez-It is a superior product, but they do not sponsor us. Look for a K in the beginning of the serial number, and then you'll know you got them for Kansas, and then call me up and tell me that I'm crazy. Do them whatever other one that you get, the one that M's, like there's a couple other serial numbers from all the different facilities. Grab the K ones, and you're going to be 100%, it'll change your life. And they taste better with Pepsi. What's up? I threw that in there too. What are you about to say?
Is this regular Cheez-Its or?
Regular Cheez-Its.
Okay. Because I know our boss, Dave Portnoy, is a big proponent of the fact that the reduced fat ones actually taste better than the regular ones. And I happen to agree. I
will tell you, they also do extra toasty. That's another one. And I got them the other day in an airport, almost on accident. I just grabbed a bag from them, the small bag. I think I like those better. I like a little bit of that. So anyway, we got the Cream Team guys coming up. I just want to hit a couple of things that interest me in the world of food. But before I do, I have a feel-good story. Some guy had reached out to me. I didn't ask if I could use his name, so I'm just going to say his name is Todd. And this is what he had sent to us. Hey, Large, a few things and apologies in advance for the long message. I unfortunately didn't listen to Barstool Breakfast. I wish I would have, because I know I would have loved it. As a former offensive lineman, my favorite people in the world, you and Willie remind me of the type of guys that I'd love to hang out with. I've been a listener since day one of the You Gotta Try This. And Nick Mangold gave the exact same vibes. Thank you for introducing Nick Mangold. Then he puts in quotes, Mick Mango, which is kind of cool for me with that story. The person to me. I was a center, so I love Mangold, the player. I love Mangold, the man, even more now. Isn't that kind of nice to hear? The same goes for Beef. I'm a 400-pound dude, I'm working on it, he says, that loves to play golf. I didn't know much about Beef before your interview, and I was immediately a fan. Like Mangold, I wish I'd known about Beef sooner, but I only got to know him at all because of your pod, so thanks again. This is making me feel very good, by the way. Thanks also for having Zimmern on. I used to eat more like Ian, but after Zimmern and Bourdain came into my life, by the way, I'm destroying your reputation, I started eating the way I always should have. It's opened up so many doors for me and changed my life for the better. Lastly, I'm a father to 3 boys, young men now. My ex-wife and I adopted the 2 oldest, who are biological brothers, through foster care. As someone that's been through the process, I want to personally thank you and St. Anne. The world needs more good adoptive parents. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy, Todd, who I think I've gone back and forth with some Twisted History stuff before. So the guy has been in my DMs gladly. I don't mean that in any weird way. Love everything you do, brother. Hopefully our paths cross someday. Would love to buy you a drink or 10. All the best, Todd. Again, I won't give his last name in case he doesn't want to have it out there. So you're talking about my good buddy, Nick Mangold. And again, apologies last week for getting a little bit emotional as I was talking about him, but I'm just human. I'm just fucking human. So talking positively about Nick Mangold, talking positively about Barstool Beef, talking positively about Andrew Zimmern, talking positively about Willie Colon. I mean, this guy is hitting all my bases. So when people say, I'd like to meet you and buy you a drink or 10, I would have 10 drinks with this fucking guy. Easily. A 400-pound ex-offensive lineman who's a golfer now and loves You Gotta Try This and loves trying new stuff. I mean, and he shit on you. How perfect is that? How do you feel about how you're represented in that note?
I think it's an accurate representation. I know I eat like a 12-year-old or whatever.
Yeah.
I know that if anyone actually grilled you, you'd be like, he's a little more adventurous than that.
I would tell guys that we all play a narrative here in Barstool. And my narrative for you is that you're smiley fries and chicken fingers every day. But I will also tell fucking people in a heartbeat that you're smiley fries and chicken fingers once a week.
No, it is every day, but
yeah, okay.
But I'll follow it up with a meal from Carbone or something like it's just some fuel. That's all that is.
Right. And taco meat.
Yeah.
Still 3 times a week.
Some food is fuel, some's for enjoyment.
Right. Okay. So maybe I'm not misrepresenting you. You're fucking the streets. So that was the feel good story for this week. This is the feel bad story for this week. Taco Bell now offers a cup of cheese. And I know getting cheese on the side versus having cheese on your fries, let's say, and Taco Bell has fries now, those Fiesta fries, I think. So getting a little cup of cheese is 100% acceptable if anyone cares about my opinion. But what Taco Bell does now is that you can request a super large side order of cheese. And when you order that, they will take one of their soft drink cups, which has to be at least 16 ounces. Ian, I listen, Google the shit out of this, whoever's listening to it right now. The super large size cheese cup from Taco Bell, it's fucking disgusting. I am not fat shaming anyone. I really don't care about how people live their lives, but sometimes people do stuff that absolutely sickens me, and this is one of them. Like there is no reason for you to have 16 ounces. And the young lady on the post that I had seen was drinking it with a straw. Again, right, Ian? Like, is that me being unreasonable?
No, especially because that is like not cheese either.
No,
it's like melted chicken fat or something.
It cannot be spelt. It's spelt with a Z. And I will tell you right now, I just talked about Cheez-Its. I realize what they are, but I would never drink 16. So she's sipping it with a straw and then every now and again pulling off the lid and dunking her burrito in it. Consistently like dunking the burrito in it to where it was just an absolute abomination. So as much as we do, you got to try this here. And please send in like the positive stuff. We'll talk about Irish fries and stuff. There's also stuff we simply do not want you to try. And personally, I care about you. Don't eat 16 ounces of cheese. That's coming from a guy who had 3 martinis last night. So I'm not doing myself too many favors, but I'm going to take the high road here and say that shit is unnecessary and fucking shame on Taco Bell for giving it to somebody unless it was on a catering job. These guys are going up single-handedly and going from the counter to a table and then throwing away an empty cup that once had 16 ounces of melted cheese in it. That offended my soul. That offended me right down to my aorta hurt when I'd seen that.
I think you stumbled upon another segment that we might have to pitch as a new segment.
I don't want to try this?
I don't want to try this, or you don't got to try this, or do not try this.
Do not try this. And to show that I'm not being a hypocrite, I do want to try. Like that's that other thing that I keep saying. And I had seen this story the other day as well. I'm pulling it up. McDonald's launches fish nuggets. And right now it's only in Singapore. And they're chicken nuggets that are shaped like fish, but they're filled with fish. But they look like chicken nuggets, except, chicken nuggets I think have 4 basic shapes. They have the Liberty Bell, the Abe Lincoln, the boot, and something else. They're all cut from the same 4 stamps. So every chicken nugget you have fits 4 different molds. I believe it's 4. So this one, it's just one. They look like giant goldfish crackers, and they're filled with whatever's in the fillet of fish. Just to show you that I'm not being hypocritical towards fast food after I just said McDonald's puts 19 ingredients in their fries and all that stuff. I'm not. I want to try these. And here's another story that maybe people lose respect for me when they hear this. My go-to order at a McDonald's is a fillet of fish with a full slice of cheese. It's the only sandwich in McDonald's that gives you a half a slice of cheese. I don't eat a lot of McDonald's at all. I don't. It just doesn't agree with me. I do a fillet of fish, full slice of cheese, and extra tartar sauce. It started as a kid because we used to do them on Fridays during Lent. If my mom wasn't making fish, most people would go for pizza. We would go for a fillet of fishes. And it's just something that, those meals that I wish you can get back that I talk about? McDonald's filet of fish has that nostalgia from that steamed sweet bun that's unnatural, and I don't know what the hell's in it. Sign me up for it. So I want to try this. I want to go to Singapore with Ian, and I want to try the fish nuggets over there. Alrighty?
I think it would be easier to just convince Flex Muscles to make their own fish nuggets, because they already have their own fillet of fish that you tried.
Yeah, that was very good. I will tell you, if you want an elevated fillet of fish, if you want an elevated fish sandwich in New York City, Flex Muscles, I think, has 2 locations. They do a fine job with their mussels, too. You can go in there and get the mussels in all these different type of sauces and whatnot. But I'd gone there for brunch, and they did something for brunch where it was like these small beignets, but the beignets which don't naturally have a lot of sweetness in the dough. You pick up sweetness from beignets, from the powdered sugar, but these, they roll in everything bagel season, and then they pump the beignet filled with, I believe, scallion cream cheese. So that comes out. And then you get their fish sandwich, and it's just, I think it's haddock, and it's a very, very good fish sandwich. I'm not saying go to Flex, all the time or anything, but if you're in the mood for a very good fish sandwich and then you're in the New York area, I think that Flex Mussels has one of the best fish sandwiches in New York. Man, I'm glad you reminded me of that. I'm going to go to Flex on the way home after this. All right, so that's one of my kryptonites. So if I go to McDonald's, you know that I'm probably going to have a fillet of fish. Last thing I'm going to talk to you guys, because you know that I also do the Twisted History Pod. You know I do the Twisted History Pod. We have Ken Burns in the office at the end of this week, and myself and Jeff Ibbert and Annie are going to interview this. I don't know. He's the top of the food chain for historians, as far as I know. I don't think any historians are household names anymore, but Ken certainly is. So I'm looking forward to that. So you know that I love history. Then you also know that I have a background in finance. It's where I was able to meet Ian when we were doing Barstool Finance together. Maybe what you don't know about me is that I'm also an iced tea guy. I used to drink a lot of Snapple. And then all of a sudden, Snapple kind of fell off the face of the earth for me. And then it's back again lately. And I find that, I pick it up when I'm in delis every now and again, if I'm in the mood for Snapples, particularly around breakfast time. I can't get a good cup of tea in the city, so instead I'll go for an iced tea, and I find that Snapple has a little bit of consistency that I like. I didn't know about this, but if you want to talk about one of the worst business deals in the history of food, Quaker Oats paid $1.7 billion for Snapple in 1994. They paid $1.7 billion for the label. And the label wasn't broken. It was huge. In 1992, Snapple was like this huge sensation that was started by three guys in Brooklyn just making natural fruit drinks. I remember it. Being a Brooklyn guy, I remember the story behind it. Annual sales in 1992 hit $500 million. It did $500 million in sales in 1992, growing 80% per year. This thing was a comet. It was like this quirky underdog brand that everybody fell in love with. And then to top it off, they hired Wendy Kaufman, the Snapple lady. She was a real employee at Snapple, so they made her the face of the company for their advertisement. Sort of like that fat guy with the mustache, time to make the donuts, like all that stuff. Wendy Kaufman, who's just a regular looking woman, she became the face of Snapple on TV. She was authentic. She was funny. She was relatable. She was not a celebrity. She was not an actress. She was not hot. She was just somebody from Snapple who was answering fan mail. It was brilliant. And America just fell in love with her. Their distribution model was very small. They liked to go to independent distributors, mom and pop shops, convenience stores, delis, bodegas. They were never in Walmart. They were never in like huge supermarkets. There was like this grassroots approach that made Snapple feel almost local. Plus, it was Brooklyn guys. So I love the fact that Snapple existed. Then in 1994, as their star is going like this, Quaker Oats comes in and pays $1.7 billion to buy them. So Quaker Oats, which you probably think about with the Quaker on the cover of the oatmeal thing, they are huge conglomerate. They own Gatorade, which is the most successful sports drink in the history of America. So they thought, by paying $1.7 billion for Snapple, that they'd be able to kind of recreate that magic that they had with Gatorade and now bring this thing into a totally different stratosphere. And they were absolutely wrong. But when it happened, Wall Street, me, loved the deal. We loved the deal, and it was widely celebrated as a good purchase. Quaker's first move, they fired Wendy. She was too expensive for them. I think she was making like $100,000 a year. They fired her ass. That they got her the hell out of here. They replaced her with like even more expensive celebrity endorsements, including one from fucking Rush Limbaugh. So you want to talk about a controversial type thing? I don't care how you feel about Rush Limbaugh, but he is a milestone stone's throw away from the original Wendy. So the customers started to get a little bit furious, or at least a little bit disenfranchised. And then their second move was to blow up that distribution network that everyone found to be attractive. So they forced Snapple into supermarket chains using Gatorade's distributors. So anyone that was putting Gatorade on their shelves at Walmart and at Stop and Shop and at Piggly Wiggly and at Publix, they were now being pushed to also carry Snapple. Small independent distributors lost their contracts, and that grassroots network that I mentioned before disappeared overnight. Their third move, so they fired Wendy, they changed the distribution. Their third move was to apply Gatorade sports marketing to Snapple to try and position it as like a performance drink. But Snapple's not Gatorade. It's like this quirky iced tea for regular guys from Brooklyn, not athletes. So the marketing completely missed what made Snapple special. So within months, sales collapsed. Retailers hated the new distribution system, and customers hated the new corporate makeover. So everything that made Snapple authentic to guys like me was absolutely gone, and it was just another beverage on the shelf at every store that you ever saw. So that brand that I told you in 1992 through 1994 was growing at 80% a year starts sinking, and it starts sinking very fast. Meanwhile, competitors saw the chaos. So like you had like Fruitopia from Coke. Pepsi decided to launch their Lipton iced tea, which started to steal market share from Quaker, and the whole thing just became a mess. So Quaker tries to fix it. They brought back Wendy briefly for, I think, more money than what they fired her for, and they adjusted the distribution, but nothing worked. The damage was done. Customers moved on. Distributors were angry, and the brand became absolute kryptonite. So in 27 months, Quaker Oats destroyed a billion-dollar brand. And in March of 1997, Quaker Oats just said, no mas. They threw in the hat, and they sold Snapple to Triarch companies for $300 million. So they paid $1.7 billion, and then 27 months later, they sold it for $300 million, resulting in a $1.4 billion loss in their purchase of Snapple. I find that to be absolutely fascinating, and I looked it up, and thank you to income.ivy, because that's where I saw this post. It was one of the biggest acquisition disasters in the history of business. They lost $1.4 million on a $1.7 million investment in 27 months. So you're going to see this a lot when we talk about places like Jersey Mike's, which gets bought by private equity. You're going to see like all these people talk about how when corporations come in, they ruin what people love. And if people don't believe that that's true, then I beg you, go take a look at the story of Snapple, and you'll learn about the biggest failure, I think, in at least the beverage universe in the history of the world, Snapple. And so now it's back on shelves the regular way. Go have Snapple if you want. Me, I personally now prefer Lipton. No. What's the one that Pepsi has? What the fuck does Pepsi have? Either way, I'll stick with that brand, right? Fuck it. All right, so that was a little bit of twisted history for you guys, mixed in with a little bit of finance. Another thing that I'm going to tell you, since this podcast seems to be doing pretty well, or the brand seems to be growing at a pretty good, not Snapple-esque rate, but a pretty good rate, we're getting a lot of people sending stuff to the office, which I love. I think it's great. And whatever you send to the office, we try. But particularly, there's one company, very, very nice. It's called Cura. Create with Cura. Cura. They're down in Coral Gables, Florida. And the reason I know about this company is because they did Mustard Mike's. Mustard Mike's was Quinn 92's mustard brand. And celebrities, when they want to go into like any type of game outside of what made them famous, like Madonna writing a children's book or whatever else you want to think about, in general, it doesn't really work. But when I had Quinn 92 on, And again, I didn't know him from Adam. The only reason I had him on is because Ian was a huge fan. Then I had this young man on, and I really enjoyed my time with him. Honestly, I really enjoyed my time with him, and Ian had parlayed it into some VIP seats. So everything was good, and the clicks were great on it. But it was that mustard that he brought in that blew my mind. So the people at Create with Cura had reached out to me and said, if I ever had any kind of ideas for perhaps some sort of brand that I would want to create, that maybe they could get involved. Wasn't a hard sell or like large, let's go and do a ketchup or something like that. Nothing. But they said they were going to send along some of the stuff that they had done with other people. And so I open it up, and it's mostly hot sauces. What they had sent me was mostly hot sauces by Hungry Boy. The only one that I still have is their Basic Bitch Pumpkin Spice Sauce. Basic Bitch Pumpkin Spice Sauce. I don't know if that sounds good to some people, but I have a friend who loves pumpkin spice, so I put this aside for them. The production team that we work with over by Manoli, they went through the hot sauce box like air. They were like, oh, I'll take this one because it has all these wacky flavor combinations and everything looked very good. That got wiped out. And the only thing that I saved from there outside of the pumpkin spice from these Create with Curas, and again, this, they say no free ads, but I like to try some stuff, is this. Turn anything into pizza. Pizzafy, the boss of all sauce. So I don't know. It's one of those things where I've never heard of it before. Other people have. I'm going to open up a little bit more. I'm going to try it live on the air right now. So something says, you know that feeling when you bite into a slice of pizza? Pure happiness, right? That's why we created Pizzafy, the boss of all sauces, to turn literally anything into pizza. We also found it pairs well with almost any meal. Don't believe us? Try it. So it tells you to put it on like vegetables, put it on eggs, and when you do, anything tastes like pizza. It's gluten-free and vegan for people who are unfortunate like that. But hold on a second. And it's very, very strong. Oh, it's very good. All right, so Kira, thank you very much for sending in. Listen, I'm not telling you guys to run out and buy this, but oh yeah, that's got something to it. I don't mind that at all. Ian, I think you'd like this. I think this would be something that you could do. All right, they're 2 of 2. Because that Mustard Mike stuff I thought was very good. So, oh yeah, that's got something going. So if I do decide to do it, if you guys think of something that you think that I would be good at, let me know. Because I don't know offhand what condiment or food stuff that I would like to do in general or specifically with these guys, but it's something that definitely turns me on. So anyway, thanks for sending it in, and you're welcome to all the production guys who got free hot sauce. What's up?
We have a housekeeping note as well.
What do we got? Oh, yes.
We are making a change to the release date of the podcast, or not release date, the day that the podcast comes out. It's going to be Monday from now on.
So we've had Gaz on the show a couple of times. Gaz runs social media here. Gaz is your boss. So Gaz had spoke to me the other day. He's like, the show's too good to be put out on a Friday. I put it out, or we had decided to put it out on a Friday. I don't make any decisions without Ian's okay, just because Friday's a less busy time for people to put out podcasts. And since what we do here at You Gotta Try This is evergreen, I didn't give a shit what day of the week we put it out, because you can listen to the Stu Feiner episode right now and it's still as relevant as it was when we did it a couple of months ago. So the days of the week thing never really occurred to me. But when Gaz showed me the numbers, it seems like podcasts that go earlier in the week do better. So I told that to Ian. He was like, fuck it, let's do it on Monday. You can't get any earlier in the week than Monday. So we're going to go from Fridays to dropping on Monday. So if you're the type of person that listens or watches this as soon as it drops, then you're listening or watching this right now on Friday. There is an argument that we could then skip a week and drop it the following Monday. But then Ian said, no, we can't do that. So we're dropping this episode right now on Friday and expect another episode. I don't know why I'm snapping. It's like I'm a fucking backup dancer. Another episode is going to drop this Monday. So Cream Team guys. And then on Monday, we're going to drop Eddie. So Eddie, one of my favorite people in Chicago. Hey, this is Eddie. I'm from Chicago. He's going to be on our Monday episode. So 2 full episodes spaced out a couple of days apart, 3 days apart. And then from here on out, after Eddie's episode, we will be dropping them every Monday. If you still prefer to, listen on Fridays, just keep it on ice for a couple of days. Because like I said, this is evergreen type of content, so you won't be missing out on anything. Seems like as good of a time as any to remind everybody that this podcast is also brought to you by Cash App. For all the parents out there with teenagers, we know you're already trying to keep a million different things under control. Cash App is here to help make sure your teen's money and their spending isn't adding to that craziness. With the Cash App card, available to teens 13 to 17 with sponsorship by an eligible parent or guardian, every transaction triggers a real-time notification for you to see, empowering your teen to practice independence while giving you peace of mind by keeping track of their spending. You can also manage everything directly from your own Cash App account without having to switch between the two. Finally, with Cash App, there are no monthly fees, no minimum balance requirements, and no hidden charges when sending or receiving money. With the Cash App card, you and your teen's balances receive 24/7 fraud monitoring, and if somebody ever feels off, you have the ability to lock their card right from your phone in just one tap. So parents, it's time to start focusing on your teens' financial learning and growth instead of stressing about the fine print. If you're ready to give your teen more independence while staying in the loop, start by downloading Cash App and setting up their account today. So for a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code FAMILY10, family10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Direct deposits and promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcasts for full disclosures. All right. So as promised at the top of the show, I have two lovely young gentlemen that you're about to meet, and they're going to be the biggest sensation to ever hit the internet, and they are the Cream Team. So let's go to that right now. All right. So as promised, one of the, hottest things to hit Chicago in the past 100 years or so has got to be the fucking Cream Team. I was lucky enough to meet Jacob because he stepped in as a producer for Rubbin' Is Racing, the NASCAR podcast that I do every week. And he signed up for something that's a Herculean task because NASCAR is a 40-week season, which is just absolutely overwhelming to most people when they realize that. But the majority of the year is NASCAR season. And then along the way, he started to get a little bit more distant. Arj, I don't have time for you for this. I don't have time for you for this. And what it was is he was putting all his energies, all his talent, all of his science, and all of his palate into working this new ice cream machine here at Barstool Chicago office. But everybody that is successful always needs a good partner, somebody who brings something else to the table. So he found a resident genius some fucking how in the form of Zac to come in, and together these guys have gotten the ice cream machine here in Barstool Chicago HQ to a point where it's one of the first things I do when I visit this office and one of the last things I do when I visit this office, and I want to do it every other minute in between, and it's because of you two bastards. So welcome to You Gotta Try This. I appreciate you, Zac and Jacob. I'm going to start with you, Zac, just because I know you a lot less. I got Jacob, right in my crosshairs all the time. Who the fuck are you? Where did you come from? What do you do here? And how'd you get into the Cream Team?
What's going on, Large? My name is Zac. We met a couple of times. Great to talk with you again today. I'm a part of the ice cream team that Big Cat established here at the office. We work hand in hand on maintaining the machine and making sure that people can get the desserts they enjoy.
Yeah. And where are you from?
I'm from Central Florida, Lakeland, Florida.
Okay.
So it's like between Tampa and Orlando.
Okay. And other than that, right, what do you do here at Barstool? You're part of my Take crew.
I am, yes, sir.
Okay. And what do you do for them exactly?
On part of my Take team, I'm in the booth with Max and Memes. So
okay.
We are in the booth during the show, and outside of the booth, I take direction very well. So if they say we need you to do this, I get it done for them. And outside of that, anything else they would need done.
And you say you take direction very well. That's an understatement, because what few times I've had the opportunity, I've had the pleasure to work with you, everything has been so goddamn tight and exact and all that stuff. So you seem to be one of the guys who would be called the detail man when it comes to this team. Is that fair to say?
This team is a partnership. I'm happy to serve the team. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So then we're going to go over to this guy.
He is the detail
I
man.
do know more, so I naturally dislike more. And this is Jacob. So Jacob's our guy who every week has to put up with us trying to get different guests on and all that kind of stuff, and juggling me in New York, Spider and Quigs here in Chicago, and Moonhead at a remote location. So you're the guy who puts a tent on the circus that is rubbing his racing, and
then the fall, it's raking too.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of raking too. What was the beginning of this for you, Jacob? When did you find out that you were going to be part of the cream team, or was it something that you were pushed into?
It was a voluntold type of thing.
Voluntold, okay.
But it was Zach's first day, full time at Barstool. We met for the first time in Tampa back in December of 2024. We were both interviewing for the Gruden Grinders position when Gruden came on to the scene. He needed a team of producers down in Tampa. So Dave texted me one day out of the blue. I was still an intern at the time, and he texted me. He was like, "Hey, Jacob, would you have any interest in auditioning for one of the Gruden positions?" I didn't know what he was talking about at the time. I didn't see like the announcement about this.
Right.
But whenever Dave asks you to do something, you say yes. So I said, yeah, for sure. So he's like, get down to Tampa this weekend. We'll book your flights. Okay. Made it there, and there was my guy. So we chopped it up during the interview process, and I remember vividly at the end of the whole ordeal, we both made it. There was a 2-day process. We both made it to the second round of day 2,
right?
Where we watched NFL football, and with Gruden and made clips of the stream of us watching football, and had to tweet them from a fake account, like run a burner. And we did all this, like went through the whole process, watched ball all day, and then it was dark outside. Zach was headed home. I was staying with the Barstool people, so I was the last like interviewee left. And I, said, peace out, Zach. And we exchanged Instagrams, and then he went on his merry way. And then like half an hour, 60 minutes later, I saw Zach, where you went, you got, he posted a big plate of wings on his story. And he said, quick 20 piece to calm the nerves.
Oh, that was something. That was a Hooters afterwards. It was a long day. I just needed to reset. So I got a little.
So a quick 20 spot at Hooters, breaded or non-breaded?
So I went 20 breaded. Have you had the buff shrimp at Hooters?
Do I have? I've spilt more buff shrimp than you have. Don't come at me, Zach. It looks like you're coming at you got to try this ground. I don't like this.
Not at all.
By the way, the more I learn about you, the more fucking threatened I feel. I don't know if you're doing it on purpose.
He's a beast.
No, you got to pull away from me a little bit.
I'll pull back so hard.
Thank you, sir.
We can share the buff shrimp together.
That'd be wonderful. Yes, we can. So an order of buff shrimp and a 20 wings breaded at Hooters. How hot do you go?
I just went. No, I'm sauce on the side guy. If we're talking sauces,
you're sauce on the side guy.
Yeah, I like to dip.
That's where I got you. Nobody respects the sauce on the side guy.
That's
so I'm
fair.
still number one in this room. But you sauce on the side. How hot can you go? And I have a follow up question. That's what I'm asking.
If I'm getting wings, I'm traditionally just like a mild guy.
Okay, because I was about to say nothing cools me down after a thing of wings than going to a soft serve place. Like, honestly, I think it's one of those things. Soft serve at the end of any meal or at the end of anything. I'm going to let you guys behind the curtain with me. I have 3 children. I don't like Disney. You're both Florida guys, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm from the DC area, but I grew up going to Florida yearly, and I have family down there. So, and I went to school there. So I'm half Florida man.
My kids never knew what Disney was growing up, but I used to take them to IKEA every week to jump on the beds. There's a ball pit there. Then we get some Swedish meatballs, and the fucking the cap, the cherry on top of everything was the 99-cent soft serve cone from IKEA. And it was sort of like I took them to amusement park every week. So I have such a fond part in my heart for closing off just about everything with some soft serve. That's why I asked if you were to go extra, extra hot, nothing's better. I think that's a cheat code. If I was to ever get to do the hot ones challenge, let's say, I'd bring you two guys with me. Like everyone else brings, oh no, I find out I can squirt pickle juice. I'd be like, no, I got my guys and I got this. Not that you guys are my guys yet. We're getting there. And I think that would be fucking blow up the world for me. So you're at Hooters, you do a quick 20 piece, you calm the nerves, and then you guys get together and decide we're taking these jobs in Chicago.
I had a feeling, just from already being in the building, being within Barstool at that point, with how Zach's interviews went and how everything went with him, I had a feeling that I would be seeing him again, in some capacity. And then for March Madness, he came up and helped with our like gambling streams for March Madness.
Sure.
Dave and Austin. Dave's right hand man, brought him up here. He killed it on a day of the yak, and then his first day, Big Cat came over because Zach was sitting next to me, and he told Zach, was like, Zach, what did he say? He said he was putting you in charge of finding an ice cream machine.
I think he asked if we would be comfortable finding an ice cream machine for the office.
Wait, who said that to you?
Big Cat.
Big Cat. Okay. Okay.
He, because I know he's had the dream of having his own. He's a soft serve guy. He's like, can we make this happen? Can we bring it to fruition? And I was just so grateful to have a task on my first day.
Sure.
That I was like, oh my goodness, this is something tangible we can try to achieve.
I love it.
So instantly we're just like, yeah, we can soft serve right now. Like, let's go find a machine, and then we just went into research mode.
Dove down the rabbit hole.
You sourced the machine. Is this machine brand new, or did you get it off of eBay and somebody had it in their restaurant for 25 years?
Not brand new.
Oh, it's not brand new. Okay.
Soft serve machines, brand new off the line, run about $30,000.
Okay.
If not more. It's insane.
What did this one? Are we allowed to be behind that?
Yes, we're allowed to do numbers.
Okay, please.
Yes, certainly.
I wanted to check first,
Of
but
course.
how much did that soft serve machine cost us?
$6,000. It was $5,500 for the machine itself, and then $500 for delivery. We got our machine. It is a Taylor C713 soft serve machine. We got it from.
Why is that important? Why is the C712 a piece of shit?
Many different models in the Taylor lineup, so we just like to be specific when we're referring to the C713. We're a gravity-fed machine, dual hoppers up top.
Dual hoppers, By the way, I'm enjoying this immensely. In case you guys didn't know, dual hoppers up top, meaning that you're feeding
2 flavors.
Okay, 2 flavors, and then the swirl in the middle.
It mixes from both of the hoppers.
Okay, I got you. So you spend $5,500, $6,000 of
Big Cat's cash.
Of Big Cat's cash. Did it come out of Big Cat's pocket?
Yes, the machine did.
How much money does that guy fucking make?
He just showed up with an envelope one day. Just said, "Look, boys, get it done." We got it done for him.
That's awesome, man.
He brought $7,000 cash for the machine, and then the initial maintenance. That was our initial ask, was $7,000.
So this thing gets delivered. You guys pop it out of the packaging peanuts. You set it up. What was the process between? I'm assuming neither of you guys had spent time like working Carvel in the summer or anything like that.
No, sir. I was a lifeguard.
So this was your first foray into basically food services at all, right? Correct?
Yeah, professionally, yeah, for sure.
I've worked like food jobs before, like kitchen jobs, but never with the soft serve ice cream machine before.
So never any kind of expertise in and around desserts.
I did like pantry chef at like a golf course, but we just like finished the desserts. It wasn't like we're not baking stuff or making,
right.
No, not at all.
Okay. So basically you guys are virgin ice cream makers for as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
So it comes in. What was the ramp up before you guys, from the time you plugged it in to the first time you guys were able to pull the lever and have a nice, delicious frozen treat?
We ran into a couple of hiccups. In bringing in the machine, we knew we needed power. We knew we needed to source electricity. And we're like, there is a kitchen here in the office. I'm sure they'll have some outlets. And we're like, okay, we need I believe it's a 240 outlet, maybe 220. I could be misspeaking, but we thought we had 2 of them. We had one of them, and then I believe the other one had it presented itself as the correct outlet, but it was just the fascia. So the power behind it wasn't
enough.
The power it was presenting.
Okay.
So we did
it identified as 220.
Yes.
But it actually wasn't, which happens a lot nowadays in this political climate, but whatever it is.
Quite the mix up. It was confused, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Or just kind of finding itself. But we found it to be the wrong outlet. And so we had to run some power from the loading docks over to the kitchen.
What a fucking hassle.
That was a tough part. The price tag was rough on that.
They had to run a dedicated line.
Yes, they had to run a lot of power.
That was bad. That was
my two brothers are local 3 electricians. And I can tell you right now, if they're doing work for people like family or friends, they will do it they'll lose money, right? But if they were to come, I know that both my brothers, Terrence and Neil, if they were to come here as local 3 guys and meet you 2 dudes with a fucking $7,000 in a thing or whatever at the time, I'm sure that was expensive. Right?
It was about $5,000, another $5,000 to run for the conduit and running the electric.
Oh, you got so fucked with that $5,000. I could have got it done for $1,200.
It could have, it could have been worse.
Right.
We were told we have the company. The office has a electrician that we trust that does a lot of stuff, but still just the price of the copper itself to run it across the gym, widthwise, not lengthwise. But either way, it was another 5 on top of the 6. So that brought our price tag for everything to about 12.
So we're committed to $12,000. They put $12,000 into this thing, and
big cat out of pocket.
Big cat out of pocket, and then you guys are charged with, all right, I gave you everything you need. You have the machine, you have the power. Make me something that's going to be consistently delicious. What was that road then when it came to the actual gastronomic part of it?
Well, the first day I thought, like the first cream day, we promised we would have cream. We had the outfits on. We had the mix. We had everything ready. That first day, we were both about to shit our pants. If you go back and watch the video, I was sweating profusely, even more than usual. Why,
Was that
Zach?
the one where Dave was here?
No, he was not.
Okay. So
Thank
I'm sorry, I didn't
God.
mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, all good. He had not yet made it to the machine. This is the first day we promised to have ice cream for the Yak and Company.
Okay.
And so that is like he's done all he could do to make sure we put the machine in position to serve them ice cream. Now it's on us to be like, the lever needs to come out, or lever needs to come down, ice cream needs to come out into this cone, or what are we doing?
Right, yeah.
And so earlier in the week, we had a meeting with a Taylor technician. So he came in, showed us how to like deep clean the machine, gaskets that need to be changed every once in a while, like quarterly maintenance, stuff like that.
Very important meeting.
And he also let us know, hey, we have soft serve mix. We're going to send to you for the first day. This is what we trust in our machines. So we're like, okay, we got a guy who's got the product to put in this machine to get some soft serve. And then they're like, we'll make sure it can't be frozen. It needs to be refrigerated. We won't deliver it to you frozen. And then the day of soft serve conception, the product was frozen.
Oh.
At first. So we had a bit of an issue trying to like whisk.
So this comes in, is this in a bag or in like a 5-gallon drum or something like that?
It was it was 6 gallons of mix per flavor, I believe, because we got a case for each flavor, and that packaging came in. It was 1 gallon jugs.
Okay.
But the jugs, the boxes themselves were in the freezer. They took them out of the freezer and drove them here. So when we put them in a fridge, thinking, okay, we're good, like it's not frozen, but then we took it out of the fridge and it was slushy, crystally.
Okay.
Not liquid. Big problem. So
how did you tackle that problem?
At first, we just thought like running under hot water. Like what else can we do? We need to get the ice out of this jug. But that wasn't working. There's not the people getting impatient, but it was like, hey, eventually we need ice cream to come out of here, and it wasn't happening. So thankfully, we do have a resident professional. We got a chef close to the kitchen. Chef Donnie goes, oh, you can just pour it out and whisk it through like not a cheesecloth, but like a strainer. He's like, we'll just put it through the strainer, get the ice out, and then thankfully we got the ice out, got it in the machine, and
Chef
we're able
Donnie,
to
fucking Chef Donnie comes and saves the day.
He came in with some tech.
clutch.
It was
Good for
huge.
him.
That was a clutch technique.
Right. So he goes, strains out any of the ice crystals. Brilliant idea. I probably would have told you guys the same thing. We pop this thing in the machine. Between the time you pour that into the machine and the time you pull that lever, I'm assuming that it needs to calibrate or, I don't know, get
It's got to freeze
mixed
for
and
a
stuff
little
like
bit.
that.
Yeah.
So, and you guys pull that lever. I'm assuming it was just going to be the same thing, vanilla and chocolate, right?
Mhm.
Sir.
That lever pulls the first time. What comes out of it? A soupy mess or a solid, soft serve that you guys were proud of?
We did a secret test pull.
Oh, so this wasn't the virgin. This wasn't the maiden voyage. You guys had a secret one. How was the secret test pull?
It was good.
We got soft serve.
Okay.
It worked out.
Okay.
We knew we were good to call the cat man over, and he came over, and we did the first pull. It was a really big moment. One of the best moments in my life. It was because I know Zach can attest to it, that like we had so much pressure on us, which I know it's so silly and so stupid to like.
I'm stopping you right here. We're having a lot of fun talking about these guys making ice cream. This is what Barstool's about. Right? Like, I think that this story, and the reason I have you guys in here, is that we're talking about it honestly like it was the first time you did open heart surgery. And I think that's what makes Barstool special, because the people who watched along with this, I wasn't one of them just because I just wasn't on that thread. I think kind of fell in love with you guys because of it, because on top of, I can attest that you're both good people. I can attest that you're both good people. And I don't feel that way about everybody around here. You know what I mean? Like, Nick Tarani is a fucking asshole. I have this running joke with Nick. But you both could be, and the fact that you take the job seriously and you're able to play it up like that for the camera really does make this thing special. So Big Cat goes over there, gives it a pull. Is he a vanilla or a chocolate guy?
I want to say he did swirl.
I think he went middle lever on the inaugural pool because we did a 3-man, 1 machine.
We had a
drop down.
3-way.
You had your first three-way.
We had a 3-way.
We did,
With
yeah.
the thing. So you guys pulled all three at the one time?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's
The
potentially
tricks on it.
ruinous. So it came through with flying colors, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah.
But it's not the same ice cream that first day as it is today, correct? Because I can tell that what I had today was the best ice cream I've had from you guys so far. And I think I've been here 4 or 5 times since it's been opened. What's the difference? What have you guys done to hone your craft?
We found a supplier. That was our big
Okay.
finding a supplier of cream was troubling at first.
Okay.
But then we found our guy. We found our guy Joe Badger Murphy in Chicago. And they're like a wholesale food dealer. They sell us, we get cream by the case, chocolate and vanilla they sell, and then they have a ton of toppings, so we can get cones in bulk. Like, one order of cones is like 600 cake cones, or 400 sugar cones. We got 25 pounds of Oreo crumble, 25 pounds of mini M&Ms. We get
A shit ton
we got
of
the hookup.
sprinkles.
10 pounds of sprinkles in a case. We got the plug.
You do.
We got the plug. We got the hookup. We keep it on the low, but Joe's our guy. And whenever
How is
that
Joe's
pack touches
prices?
down,
Are they competitive?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then Joe comes by once a week. When is the re-up? When is the re-up for this? How much do we go through? And was it a huge, everyone's eating it, we need more and more and more. And now is it tailed off because we're getting into the colder months?
Believe it or not, I feel like we're kind of keeping steady.
Yeah, at least the only real way we can tell, like, day-to-day count is like how many times you fill the cones up. But now in the wintertime, people have been switching to the Sundays. So I guess you have to keep into count how many cups are going and how many cones are going. But I think it's like a steady pace of ice cream consumption through the change in season.
What is the upkeep for you guys?
Daily upkeep is like, so we have a gravity fed machine. So there's the goes from up top in the hoppers. There's these 2 feed tubes that have a little hole on both sides that if they're down in the mix, it'll feed mix into the freezing cylinders. And if the tubes are flipped, no more mix to the cylinders. So daily upkeep is like, just keep track on what the levels of the mix in the hopper look like. We'll get a little light that'll let you know, hey, we need to fill up some more mix here.
Okay.
At the end of the night, flip the tubes, put it into standby mode. Keep the cone stock, keep the toppings as tidy as possible, and clean out the little tray and hope we can serve the office to the best of our ability.
Is there a quarterly upkeep like you're saying? Do you have to break this thing down, change gaskets and whatnot every now and again?
We do that every week. We break it down every Friday.
Really? Every week?
Every week we drain the machine, dump the cream that's in there, and then we take apart the machine, use sanitizer running through the machine because we try to keep it very, very sanitary because going through the learning process about the machine and about soft serve, we discovered that improper upkeep could lead to a listeria outbreak, or we call it the L word. But that's
listeria sounds bad.
L word comes in severe cases. Like we would have to not clean it for a long time, use like expired product. But we keep track of our expiration dates and we rotate our stock, and now we're kind of in a good routine where we break it down, clean it every Friday. Some parts need to be changed out every 3 months. So we are on our second set of scraper blades in the
inside the mixer. I would assume that's what takes it off into the churning process, right?
There's these two metal swirly scraper things, and then on the blades of those scrapers are plastic. There's a curvy plastic piece that you put that scrapes the side of the freezing tubes.
Sure.
And what it scrapes, those little tiny ice crystals that it scrapes off the sides of the freezing tubes, is what gives the ice cream its texture. It's what makes it firm.
I'm going to put you on the spotlight, Zach. Do you know what listeria is? What the symptoms are?
So I know the listeria is off the top of my head. I know the listeria is a foodborne illness that is above. There's 2 or 3 that are very common. Listeria is the worst one. And I know there'll be a lot of bathroom breaks. I think there may be
okay.
I think it's
so it's a food poisoning.
Yeah, food poisoning, but it's the worst option when it comes to food poisoning.
Okay. I've seen it bandied about. I just don't know if I've ever seen anyone that has caught it.
It's very rare.
There's a milk stone that can build up in the machine, and that would harbor listeria. And there's all the different pieces have O-rings and gaskets where bacteria would hide if we weren't popping them off and cleaning up underneath of them on a regular basis.
If one or both of you guys are on the road for any of the assignments that you guys get pulled in 1,000 different directions for, and the cream team is not here to do the simple upkeep, not the quarterly changes or anything like that, is there anybody in this office, Chicago HQ, that you would trust to fill in your stead? Because I think that's very, very important.
Yes, there is.
Let's say you were to accidentally catch some listeria from another source, right? Because, I don't know, who would you guys feel comfortable jumping in one or both of the seats temporarily?
We got a boy.
We got a guy.
Wait, hold on. You got a boy meaning what?
We got a trusted member of the team.
Third member, Owen.
Which guy's Owen?
Owen Lockwood.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know Owen that well because he's relatively new.
He's relatively new.
Should I have had him in here? Or does he not deserve it yet? Is this still in that?
Oh, I think he deserves it. He worked very hard. Owen's our expansion team.
Okay.
So there was a week where it happened as you describe. I was on vacation and Zach was out on grit week. So for 3 or 4
example. Yeah.
3 or 4 days, there was no cream. We had the machine broken down, and some people, Brandon Walker, were really upset and angry, quite frankly, that there was no ice cream. So we had to find a third member of the cream team. So we conducted interviews and a combine.
Does that piss you off? Brandon Walker came from wherever he came from, right? I mean, if you see his beginnings, they're somewhat humble. I think people would say that. And now he's demanding fresh ice cream every day. Can you think of a better example of somebody who forgot where they came from than Brandon Walker? Let's talk some shit.
It's certainly our job to provide the sweet treats for the office.
Okay.
And I think it was more so.
Such a good kid.
I think I think what happened in this certain situation Jacob was referring to is I think he was catching some heat about a different instance.
He got in trouble.
And then we were a quick pivot. So like
Deflection.
he was about to
deflected.
It was a
yeah,
deflection.
that's all it was. I don't think there was any like real hate or malice behind it, but it was just an easier like, hey, let's talk about something more important. We haven't
Glad
had
you
any
cleared
ice
that up
cream.
because I was about to declare a jihad on him.
Oh no,
Just so you
can't
know,
do
I'm on
that.
your turn, on your team. So then, outside of the third unsung member, is there somebody? I'm gonna tweak the question just a little bit. Is there somebody in content that you think would be responsible enough to be somebody that could help out in your stead? Is there somebody in content that might be like more of a household name?
More of a household name.
I'm looking around this office trying to think of, like, obviously Spider is very good at doing everything for everyone on top of his own stuff.
Yeah.
But he's often on the road too. So you kind of need somebody
Yeah, for,
that's
like, the
here,
classic.
you know?
Someone that's here often. And honestly, a big part of it is Fridays because we clean the machine Friday afternoon and the office empties out at like 2 or 3 after people play basketball
But you
on
also
Fridays.
need like somebody who's extremely, like, I don't know, reliable and I'm thinking Chief maybe. Like, I'm saying that Chief wouldn't want to do that, but to me, Chief is one of those guys. I love Chief as much as I love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's a detail-oriented guy that can do just about anything when it comes to mechanical or following or something like that. He seems mechanically inclined, as does Za. Za strikes me as somebody like that too. Is there anybody else who might strike you in this office, or did I steal the 2 best ones?
Those are good choices.
Those aren't
fantastic
bad,
picks.
right?
We wouldn't want to burden anyone with additional tasks. So it would be
No, I'm saying a perfect world. Like, people want to do it. I would gladly do
I
it for you
think
guys. Just
Dana. I think Dana maybe.
Dana.
Could, from a passion standpoint, Dana loves ice cream. He was a top candidate for us as another member of the cream team, but he said that the Fridays wouldn't work. He likes to get fucked up on Fridays.
Okay, that's right.
So
that's the downfall.
I know for him the passion would be there, and he would definitely like care about the process and pay attention and care about the ice cream. But in terms of time, I don't know.
Do you respect people less when they go for the swirl? Does that say to you, there's a guy who can't make a fucking decision? There's a guy who can't commit to vanilla or commit to chocolate. It's a cop-out doing the swirl. And I say that knowing that I had a swirl today. But
I disagree.
I'm normally a vanilla guy with rainbow sprinkles, which is probably not the majority of people. A lot of people are chocolate. But I think sometimes when I do a swirl, it's a fucking cop-out. I like to choose something. You don't find that?
I think my take with the swirl is that if you mix them together, it's like you're basically making extra milk chocolate. So it's like it's a mix of both where you get the chocolate taste, but it's not as rich and strong. The vanilla in there kind of smooths it out a little bit. I'm more of a vanilla guy myself.
Really? All right, that question goes to you. Do you respect people less when they go swirl as opposed to choosing a side? Because I believe that the swirl is the ice cream equivalent of sitting on the fence politically. Pick a side.
I less so see it as fence sitting, more so see it as like a best of both worlds.
Okay.
Like if say you throw the swirl into a sundae, you can also go 50-50 toppings. So like on the vanilla side of the if you notice when you swirl it up, you do get like a pretty distinct half and half if you go cross section. So like you can maybe go like Lucky Charms marshmallows and a little bit of peanut butter on one side, and then on the chocolate side you dive in, maybe you go a little bit of Oreo and some of that ganache sauce. So like I don't hate the idea of like a 50-50 situation at all.
Where do we go from here, guys? I've kept you here way too long already. Where do we go from here? Is it one of those things where you have merch, correct?
Yeah.
Is there merch in the store?
Yeah,
So there's merch in the store. Is there any way that I can bother you guys to give me a free t-shirt at some point? Like, I don't see myself paying for anything of this nature, just like I don't want to pay for my ice cream, but I would proudly be a part. I don't know what the fuck I just did. I would proudly be part of the cream team in some fashion if you would allow me. And that's a bold thing for me to ask while we're live. But we're going to go merch now in the store. I don't have merch for any of my fucking franchises in the store. So that's a good step. And there's going to be growth from this. Do you see this going out to being like at least more flavors, possibly another machine, or do we all of a sudden bring in a slushy machine to do that? I mean, where do we go from here? Because if you stay stagnant, this will go away. You got to keep going. I believe that's my phone. Is it? Ridgewood High School.
Oh shit!
We just
Someone's in
caught my
trouble.
daughter was tardy for the
Period 4.
period 4.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to have some fucking talks with this girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tags?
yeah.
sorry. Bridget.
So now, where do you guys see that you guys are going from this? Honestly, I'll get back to my original question. I don't know how to turn this off yet.
we have another flavor in the works currently.
Okay.
We've been assigned to create strawberry.
them? Okay. Will strawberry then replace vanilla or chocolate, or do we go? It has to, right? Because you're only a double feed. You said from the top.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
So when the strawberry is implemented into the machine, we will sacrifice one other flavor for like a time period. It was the idea was tossed around as like a short stint of strawberry and maybe get back, or if the office enjoys the strawberry when we test it out, it could become a mainstay. I think that comes with like what would you call that? Like we need proof of concept, so we're like consumption. Like if we notice there's a ton of strawberry getting consumed, maybe it stays, or it stays seasonal. I'm not sure.
What will strawberry replace?
I think chocolate.
Yeah,
I think
they're
it's
saying chocolate.
Really?
That's what they're saying.
And let me ask you guys personally, because somebody else seems like they're driving the bus on this decision. Don't you think that's a little racist?
It was voted. It was voted in the Yak poll.
Okay. So you don't think there's any racism
This wasn't
there?
our decision.
Am I finding something that's probably not there?
I mean, ask the Yak chat.
Okay.
Ask
So
the Yak
I think
chat.
vanilla plus strawberry is an elite combination, one that I would probably do a swirl with, because again, I'm being hypocritical here. But there's something about chocolate and strawberry too that kind of, there is no wrong answer to this. And you guys are going to take the empirical evidence on how much is being consumed with either of it, make an intelligent decision to possibly replace one or the other at some point. I don't know if a world's going to exist, though, where we don't have chocolate in this office. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that strawberry and vanilla are more interchangeable where chocolate is chocolate.
For sure.
Maybe we go strawberry vanilla week, and then we go back to like a regular scheduled program, vanilla chocolate, and then next week maybe rip a chocolate strawberry.
And can we go further? Can we get you something, I don't know, can we go pistachio? Can we do raspberry? Can we go to a frozen yogurt mix from maybe, because there's a lot of young ladies around here. And I remember my freshman year in college, they put frozen yogurt machines in the dining halls, and everyone did that freshman 15 quick. And the girls were like, get this the fuck out of here. All of a sudden, if these girls were on camera, decide that they're getting a little big through the hips, roomy, well, do you guys go to a lower calorie option?
I think that would have to be those are questions. I think those are questions for the front office.
Yeah.
I think that might be above us.
Of
Our
your pay
ownership
grade?
group
Yes,
makes
sir.
these decisions.
Okay, I appreciate your honesty on both this. All right, I'm going to wrap it up then, boys. Unless you think there's anything else I need to know about this. My view is from 30,000 feet. I had the luxury of coming in, eating, and leaving, and not getting to know where the sausage was actually made. And I feel like I'm caught up. Is there anything else that I need to know about the cream? It's cream team, correct?
Yes,
The
sir.
cream team. Is there anything I need to know about the cream? I didn't know you had a third member, so already I'm ahead of the game. That I need to know before we wrap up?
We could share that. I know you said the first time you enjoyed the ice cream that it may have had different flavor profile as opposed to the last time that you
Yes.
tried it. A little bit of more information on that is that we were at a 5% milk fat percentage in the mix. We cannot share with you the viscosity settings that we've adapted to with the machine. Those
Why
are
is that? I'm not trustable?
No, those are just
Proprietary.
proprietary. It's more so just like an airwaves things. We don't want to get picked up.
You would tell me in private,
We
perhaps?
100% could tell you that.
Okay.
But in public, we can
Did you
also.
see how insulted I got by the way? I used the word trustable. I don't think that's a word. I meant trustworthy. I got so fucking so insulted that I forgot I lost my grasp of the English language.
That's okay.
But as long as it's something I can be told on the side, I feel like I'm right back in it with you guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Zach.
Everybody's feelings are valid.
Yeah.
That's totally understandable.
Yeah.
But we did move to a 10% milk fat content in the machine. So it's a little bit richer. That could have been why.
That's definitely what it is. It's got more of a mouthfeel, more of an unctuous feel
Yes,
in and
sir.
around, stays with you a little bit.
Initially, it started the 5%, the 4-5% is soft serve. Now it's 10 and 11% with egg yolk, and it is considered custard.
Oh, so we're pulling custard.
Correct.
And that's the difference.
Correct.
And I enjoyed very much. All right, so we're going to wrap up. So this is Jacob and this is Zach. We kind of did this just to have the guys come in so I can get to know them. They're 100% lovely to spend some time around. And if you're wondering, They told me the proprietary thing that makes their ice cream different. And I think once you try it, you'll know it's because I think it's made with love. So this is the Cream Team. Support them however the hell you want to support them. Go buy a shirt and make these guys blow up and be the biggest thing here at Barstool, because I think both of them deserve it. All righty, boys?
Thank you, Lars.
It was a pleasure having you on. I'll talk to you whenever. It was very nice to sit down one-on-one with you for the first time.
Thank you for having us,
Anything else you
Large.
need to say before we go?
I just want to say thank you so much for having us, man. This is awesome.
Of course, it's my pleasure. And Jacob, thank you very much for your help in rubbing. And we'll talk to you guys next time on You Got to Try This.